Hello today and welcome back to the third. Oh boy, it's kind of warm in here. It's kind of toasty. We're in the depths of Gehenna, sort of. Phantasma's take on Gehenna. And we've been reliving some of Kevin's past ever since he became the heretic hunter. Let's go up here. Alright, we still got another floor to go. Maybe we stopped a little prematurely. Oh no, wait. We got a boss after all. I'm so sorry, Kevin. Oh, there are at least 4 bosses. Perhaps there are 5. How could I forget about this one? I failed as your mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Mom? Is this? At least this way. At least this way. The two of us can... Damn. Gehenna don't pull no punches. Malevolent ghost. The ghost of Kevin's mother. Curses all she sees and steals their abilities. Let's not pull punches either. I took care of a few. Oh, most. It took care of almost everyone. Man, Calamitous Blast is no joke. Strong. In particular, you do not like Mirage Arts. I wonder why wind doesn't have any effect on her. It's an interesting choice. But I don't really have good Mirage Arts with Kevin. Might have a few with Ries. I have Silver Thorn, which is okay. Damn, that one hurt. Kevin, you don't... This place and everything in it was seriously what I wanted for myself. Then I'm probably the biggest masochist who ever lived, don't you think? You don't need to force yourself to talk, Kevin. Sorry. I suppose this moment had to come sooner or later. I've been running away from Mom's death ever since the day I lost her. Always so desperate to look away from it all. But now, I feel I can finally accept what happened. You're sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let's get going, Ries. There'll be plenty of time to be sad after we get out of this place. Right now, we need to concentrate on living long enough to do that. Okay. Man. Did you think this is where Kevin's story was going to go when he was flirting with Estelle on that airliner in the 2nd chapter? Look at these dudes. We fought one of these guys in a boss fight, right? Death Slugger. It's like the devil parade's going on down here in Gehenna. Well, this is where they would be. How big is this area? Oh, I got one little backtrack area for an item. Did we fight one of you in a boss fight as well? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, oh yeah, Bennu Nucleus. So, oh, is it going to be all forms of him? He was a straight up devil. And no, it was just the Nucleus. He had tough outer layers originally. Get out of my way, dead man. Still empty. So this might be the final area. No, but it's looked like it's building up to it, given how linear this one is. Throw more mirrors at us. Not that I want to fight the mirrors. These enemies still are not giving us experience, like really. They all seem to be giving 1 each. Actually, can I... No, I can't even, well, obviously, we can't warp out using the cube. Naturally, right? I mean, I never even tried before now. But of course, they're not going to let you do that. Well, we can't even, like, change support members. Here we go. This is the final area for sure. Look, they even put an orbit charging station here for you. Strange powers overflowing from the orb. Makes you wonder what it technically is, because it's not like a charging station. It's not man-made. So what is it? What's up with the symbols? What's going on there? You know what? We should probably just save. This is going to be just 2 party members in this boss fight that's obviously about to happen. So it doesn't hurt to be a little careful here. Oh, we're at the exit. So look at that battle arena right there in the middle. Interesting architecture. It's the kind of stuff that I'm going to be coming back and looking at in the future. Assuming any of it is accurate. Which again, like, given the rules of Phantasma, they put that just like one shred of doubt in your mind to be like, well, what if it's not accurate? The gates of Gehenna. Those gates are distorted but steadfast, serving to keep the living and the dead apart. Yeah, they've been accurately realized for sure. Too bad the testaments don't give us any clues as to how the 2 of us can force them open. Nor do you have any chance of doing so. Who is that? About time. This motherfucker snuck in one last time. A pleasure to see you again, Kevin Graham. I never thought we'd have the pleasure of meeting face to face again. Certainly not in a place beckoned with so many delightful peculiarities. I figured you might show up eventually. With this place being full of people I've killed, you rearing your ugly head was always a given. Who is he? He's the biggest sinner the church has ever been unfortunate enough to have in their ranks. The bishop of the Congregation for the Sacraments, who went on to become an Anguist in Ouroboros. Georg Weissman, the demon I put an end to half a year ago. That's him? Not discerning your identity was truly my most careless blunder. I never suspected that the priest before me would be the one to inherit the long vacant position of 5th Dominion. Life does so love its surprises, doesn't it? Well, that was the point. Me being a Dominion was deliberately kept secret, so that I could serve as one of the congregation's trump cards. Of course, the truth's out in the open now, but it's a fair enough price to pay if it means you're dead. The congregation always were a cunning bunch. They created such an elaborate scheme just to take out poor little me. Was the plan conceived shortly after your stigma first manifested? No, I'm sure it was. And after that, it was merely biding your time till you could make your move. With a Dominion, the Salt Pail, and a carefully designed game plan on their side, the odds of me escaping with my life were woefully slim indeed. You're right about how cunning they are. In that sense, you were probably just as right when you called me a damn dog. I was fine with being that way, too. How respectable of you. I must admit, I'm astounded. I had carried out plenty of my own research on stigmas and their capabilities, but I had no idea a genuine article was capable of quite this much. What are you talking about? I suspect that deep down you already know the answer, but it is my deepest pleasure to elaborate. The Gehenna in which we stand is a reflection of your latent desires. That you already know. But more specifically, the cause of this is your stigma. Huh? What do you mean? After the Ariel's disappearance, Phantasma was thrown into a state of great confusion. After all, Phantasma was the Ariel subsystem. Without the Ariel to control it, it was like a ship whose captain had suddenly vanished, lost. To calm its own confusion, Phantasma sought a new master who could take the place of the Ariel and control it. Specifically, it chose the person with the deepest trauma from among those close to the Ariel when it vanished. Its decision made, it found the stigma that it exists deep within you and made a copy within itself. That stigma then manifested your latent desire, Gehenna, here in Phantasma. And that is how both this and the Lord of Phantasma came to exist. Kevin. Well, I suppose that's enough exposition for now. And now that we're clear of all confusion, I have a proposition for you. One that will allow you to resolve all of this without a single loss of life. A tantalizing prospect, no? You can do that? Really? It's quite simple. You need only to cast away your humanity. Nothing more. Your stigma rose from the ashes of immense despair and guilt. What better way to deal with this situation than to become a being that is not burdened by such worthless emotions? To become a truly self-supporting superhuman, capable of controlling every facet of themselves. You're insane. That's no way for people to live. Yet it is the goal I obsessively pursue in both life and death alike. My research into stigmas was but one part of my efforts to achieve it. My efforts with Joshua may not have borne fruit, but you are so very close to reaching it. And once you become a superhuman, you will be able to fully control your own stigma and emerge as a new Lord of Phantasma. Silence, Faceless! Stop trying to deceive him with that forked tongue of yours. Please, I am doing no such thing. I only presented a modest proposal at best. Not one word I've said is a lie, I swear it. You could argue that I may feel resentment towards him for being instrumental in my death, but at this point, that matters little to me. Everything pales in significance to seeing my long-cherished ambition realized. I abandoned the church's teachings and joined Ouroboros in pursuit of creating a superhuman, and now I finally can. You're insane. It's alright, Ries. You don't need to keep defending me. Kevin? I'm glad to see you understand me. I always knew you would see sense in the end. It's hard to disagree with the fact that I need to be stronger than I am. It was my weakness and my own cowardice that led to taking Rufina's life with my own hands. It was my weakness and my cowardice that led to rejecting Mom and allowing her to die. And now, it's those same two qualities that have led to Ries and the others getting drawn into this mess to suffer. All of those things are on me. All of them. But, you're absolutely right. But there's no need to despair any longer. You have it in you to overcome such weaknesses. Follow the path I've opened to you, and they will be a thing of the past. A mere memory. That's one option, sure. A good one, too. But sorry, it's not the one I'm gonna be picking. Man, I'm even more of a loser than I figured. Even now, I just can't bring myself to forget the taste of the chocolate I had that day. What? When Rufina and Ries found me, I was crushed beyond measure. I thought I'd never be able to stand up against and overcome the despair I felt. That's why that bitter yet sweet taste left such a strong impression on me. It's why it gave me the strength to move forward, even knowing how many hardships awaited. Because for every hardship, there will be just as much joy waiting for me. Kevin. So, sorry, Faceless. This thing ain't gonna work out between us. Very well. I'm not about to force you to change your mind. But let's see how far such pathetic sentimentality will take you when your lives are placed in mortal peril, shall we? No! Astarte and Rostrum. We have to face both guardians of Gehenna's gates at once for this round, huh? You may be a Dominion, but surely even you realize you don't stand a chance of winning here. Not when you have to worry about that girl with you. Well, having any second thoughts? Don't you dare listen to him, Kevin. I'll be fine. Don't let worrying about me stop you doing what's right. Well, you're right about our chances of winning. 2 high-ranking devils and you against just the 2 of us. Things aren't looking so hot. At least, that was before I knew I'm not the man I once was. What? Yeah! Kevin learned the S-craft Spear of This is a space element attack that hits all foes in the field and is especially effective versus devils. Set Spear of as Kevin's S-break? Why yes please. Wow! Impossible! What is that? This is the other side of my stigma. Its light side. It's been there all along. I was just never able to see it until now. How could this be? Seems like I owe you a word of thanks, Faceless. Turning down that deal you threw out has finally allowed me to gain a little confidence in myself. As a token of my appreciation, you can be the first one to see what it can do. As its victim. I always knew you were nothing more than a dog. Fine, have it your way. Let's see how much of a difference a change of color really makes against such overwhelming odds. I welcome you to try. How did he end up getting a rematch? Stupid Weissman. I've always had this, as you may have noticed. The Spear of but if I didn't want to use it because spoilers. Do we have any bonuses on the field? We don't. But why don't we do a little something? Let's see, what are my options here? Man, I wish it wasn't just the two of us. Then I could buff Kevin up. Let's see. I do have Forte, so I can do this. Let's see. Then we'll break with Kevin. I did not do a whole lot of damage. Maybe the strength boost doesn't affect it. It certainly does on regular S-Crafts, but maybe this thing's unique properties aren't affected. It's kind of just a palette swap of his other one. But hey, story implications, right? Oh, that did critical damage to the one on the right. We'll be taking him out shortly. Alright, one big swing. Oh, that did some decent damage. But you gotta go. Alright, what are you planning here? One of the devils that guard Gehenna. This is not the one we fought. Or we did fight Rostrum eventually, right? We fought both of them separately. And now we're fighting them together. This should hopefully stop Rostrum. Whoa, look at that tear in the middle. That's weird. Oh, Rostrum held on. That's not good. Alright, what are your affinities? You're weak to time and space. Can I get out a strong art? I think I can. Yeah, this will stop him. There we go. Just us and Weissman. Alright, craft. Damn it, I need to get the two of them close together. Let's just move over here. Oh, it's S-Craft. So if you didn't know the answer to that one trivia question, you could have learned it here. It's the same as it was. I have nothing with Ries. Nah, he's almost done. We can just poke him at this point. Go back from where you came, you bastard.
Sorry, but you had to die.
Thanks for all the Sepith, loser. Well done. But as long as Phantasma exists, I will never die. I'll always be watching you from here, Kevin Graham. Watching to see just how long you can continue to desperately play tough before accepting the reality around you. Desperately play tough, huh? I wish I could disagree. What do you mean? Kevin! How are you? Are you alright? I'm fine. I think I just overdid it some. Again. I'll be okay though. I won't flop over like I did last time I pulled this. Not after I've made up my mind to finally face Fina head on. Good. Still, we might have beaten them, but we're not really in the best situation here, are we? How are we even supposed to get that door open? I don't think we're enough to get it to budge. Yeah, but we've come this far. We can't just give up. I think we're going to have to destroy it. That's always her resort. As usual, you mind if we at least try something else before resorting to rampant destruction? Besides, I think this gate's the most important defining structure down here. What makes this a replica of Gehenna more than anything. I can't see it being very easy to destroy. Hey! That sounds like... Is this a joke? I've never been so happy to see someone in my life. And once again, you go out of your way to defy logic. We found you in some weird-ass places, but this one has gotta be the weirdest of them all. How did you get down here? His presence is more than a little suspicious. You're not working with the Lord of Phantasma, are you? The Lord of what's it? No, forget it. We don't have time to chit-chat. We need to run now, or we're done for. Huh? Was that... roaring, and the sound of flapping wings. A lot of them. Way to go, Gilbert. Ah! Are those devils? They're not as high-ranking as the two we just beat. They're no slouches either. How are we supposed to take this mini on at once? To do something! This is your responsibility. I don't want to die. Not here. And you think we do? I sure don't. Damn it. I used too much of my Sigma's power. I've got to at least try and give these two an opening to get away. But how? Stay back! Stay back! Kevin! I don't think I've got much of a choice here. The power of friendship. Kevin! Ries! Are you okay? Thank goodness we made it. What is this place? Hell? Oh my! This looks like a one-to-one replica of Gehenna. My compliments to the designer. Nice to see you two hanging in there. I can see we're in for a fun time. Why the heck is Gilbert with you? You guys? Why? After you fell down here, Celeste was gracious enough to search for your location. And thanks to you having the cube with you, we were able to find it. She finished connecting a path here only moments ago. This door will take you back to the garden. Really? We appreciate it. I can't believe my luck. Anyway, the talking can wait until later. We'll charge in and try and force an opening in their ranks. You take the chance to break through and get through to the gate. Hurry. Thanks. Truly, thank you. Then shall we begin? A most thrilling dance with the devils awaits. Righteousness shall be victorious. Fall before the blade of Evander. Let's do this! Right! Yay! They're doing it! Look at them go! End of chapter 7. Very short chapter. Save here. Let's see what happens now. That's about the long and short of it. We're back in the garden. In other words, all of this, everything that's happened, is my fault. All of you are victims who had the misfortune of knowing me and getting dragged into this. No apology is sincere enough, but I'm so sorry for what you've been put through. I'm not following. Why? I heard all you said, but I don't think you've got any reason to be that sorry. Come again, Estelle? Based on what we've learned, Phantasma choosing a new master was an inevitability, and something it would have done whether you were there or not. As such, after it lost the Ariel, something like this would have happened no matter the circumstances. I agree. Phantasma would simply have chosen someone else and created a different world as a result of the trauma that lay within. The thought that you might have been chosen is nothing short of terrifying too. Everything that has happened to us in here so far is nothing compared to what we would have had to endure had that come to pass. Oh, Mueller, your words are like the sweetest kiss turned frozen upon parting. Do you have that little faith in me, your one and only? Perhaps everyone here would have been drawn into the most ravenous feast the world has ever seen, but nothing more than that. I'm scared. I'm just disgusted. You're a special degree of creep, you know that? I want no part of any feast that comes from out of your brain. Count me out of this one. I can't help but feel you guys are kind of missing the point. Well, don't take this as me trying to defend you or anything. But in a sense, it might have been a good thing that you were chosen over anyone else. How do you figure? I'm Moss as well. Your stigma's obviously very powerful, and it's capable of exerting a lot of control over things. Enough so that Phantasma as it is now exists in a state of order. But what if it had chosen someone else? Would the world have been able to maintain order then? It's possible that Phantasma would have been unable to contain the chaos that ensued and gone out of control under someone else. Is what you're essentially getting at, right? I knew you'd understand, Joshua. If that had happened, a lot more people might have been caught up in this. Not that I've got a problem with lots of guests at a tea party. The more the merrier. Come on, Ren. I think you're the only one who'd be having fun. She's right. I don't think you've got any reason to beat yourself up over this. We're all very different people from different walks of life. But right now, we're all here, sharing a common destiny. Yeah, in times like these, we've got to help each other out, right? Besides, this place relates to the Ariel, which is Liberl's problem. From my perspective, you're a victim. I couldn't agree more. As such, Kevin, we would appreciate you leading us as you have done so far. It's time to truly bring an end to what was started half a year ago. What can I even say? First, I'm stupid. Then Ries pulls off the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And now you guys. This must be the biggest group of idiots in all of Zemuria. I swear, you wouldn't find a more gullible, naive bunch anywhere on the continent. I was happy to use each and every one of you for my own devices right to the very end. So how can you be so... It's alright, Kevin. Kevin. Sometimes you just have to know when to give in. And you're at that point right now. Your luck ran out the second you got stuck with us. Got stuck with you, you mean? Spending too much time with pushy, meddling do-gooders who don't know when to quit like you is bad for anyone. You want to say that again? Well, all of those things describe you to a T. That much is true. They certainly do. I think they're your good points, though. Yeah, so do I. I think Estelle's rubbed off on all of us at this point, and that's not a bad thing. Thanks, guys? Group of idiots is right. We're smack dab in the middle of a shitty situation here, but you wouldn't know it by looking at us. With a team this spectacular, what do we have to fear? There's a chance we could even overthrow the Erebonian government if we put our minds to it. Need I remind you that that's not something an Erebonian prince should be saying out loud? Alright. I know what I'm beat. We're in this. Together. And this time, I actually mean that. Got it. We're happy to have you with us. Anyway, at least now, we know exactly what we need to do here. We need to defeat Rufina, the Lord of Phantasma. There's no getting around that. Unfortunately not. Indeed. With that said, just where is she? You didn't encounter her in Gehenna, did you? She disappeared right after the two of you fell down there. That's a good question. I think it's safe to say she wasn't down in Gehenna with us. If she had been, she would have shown herself at some point. Yeah. But then where is she? I believe I can answer that. Celeste? Didn't realize you were here. I can't thank you enough for saving our hides earlier. Truly, I doubt we would have been able to get out unharmed if not for your assistance. We're both grateful beyond words. I was more than happy to help. All of us here are in the same predicament, myself included. You can even think of me as another one of your companions if you'd like. Naturally. What kind of answer are you thinking you can give? Ah, yes. It took some time, but I was able to ascertain her current location. What? Really? Is that what you've been working on all this time? Yes, it is. During my investigation of the 7th plane, I was able to gain an understanding of the layout and contents of Phantasma as a whole. I also discovered that the Lord of Phantasma isn't in any of the planes. Rather, she is outside of them. Phantasma consists of more than just the planes? What's it like outside of them? Think of the planes you've been exploring like a giant, multi-layered structure in the center of Phantasma. They're all you've known up to until this point, but this world consists of more than them. That said, the rest of Phantasma is just a vast, barren wasteland at this point, abandoned and devoid of life. Hard to picture without seeing it for myself. Do you know where in this big abandoned wasteland she is? Because if it's that vast, just knowing she's there probably isn't going to help us much. I have a relatively good idea where in it she is, thankfully. Although, that doesn't solve the core problem. I fear the word vast doesn't do the scale of the wasteland itself justice. I believe it's roughly the size of the continent where you live. It's the size of Zemuria? That is going to pose a problem. Crossing an area that massive on foot would take months, maybe even longer. Do we not have any other means of transport that we could use? I'm not sure my power would be of any use to you here. I can't place monuments too far from this garden, for one thing. Even if we did commit ourselves to trekking across the whole thing on foot, without the cube's power, we couldn't come back and resupply. Trying to take several months' worth of food hardly seems realistic. Well, this is going to be a tough one. I can only think of waiting for her to come to us. What's up with you, short stuff? Got something on your mind? Well, I was just thinking, why not use the Arcel? What? The replica we encountered on the first plane? Yeah. The world is supposed to react to the desires of people in it, right? So while that Arcel might not be the real one, it looks just like it. Everyone here is pretty familiar with the real thing and how it looks, so it seems like a ship we could all picture flying easily. Maybe if we all wish for it to fly together, it might actually happen. Sorry, I'm being silly, aren't I? I don't know what's gotten into me. This isn't something an engineer should be saying. I don't think you're silly at all, Tita. In fact, I think that's a fantastic idea. You do? It does seem like the easier something is to imagine, the easier it is to have it realized in Phantasma. And both you and Julia are familiar with the exact structure of the Arcel, while most of us here have seen and been on board it. This might actually work. There's clearly no rules saying airships can't exist here either, given that we've already been on the Black Ark. Well, Celeste, do you think it would work? The Arcel was the ship you used to board the Liberl Ark, I believe. Then if we were to feed the image of it flying, then back into the system, I think this may actually be possible. If all of you are on board, the White Wings will take to the skies once more. We can really make this happen? I can't believe it! Huh? Well done, Tita. Totally. You really outdid yourself this time. Wait a second. Does this mean we might be able to make the Bobcat fly? There's a copy of that here, too. Oh, you're right. How many of you are familiar with that? Crap, I forgot about that. I think Josette and I are the only ones who have actually flown in it. Shara, Olivier, and I have technically been in it, but that was just as stowaways. Yeah, that was back when we were investigating that airship hijacking. What a fond memory that adventure made now that I look back. I'm not sure what the odds of success would be then. That's a rather small number of people. I think it would be wise to focus on trying to revive the Arcel first. Okay. Still, this sounds like a much better plan than trying to walk there on foot. We should prepare for departure at once, then make our way to the Arcel. Don't gotta tell me twice. We'll have a lot in store for us if we're able to make this work. However, I should warn you all one thing. Once you have flown the Arcel to the area where the Lord of Phantasma awaits, that will be it. You will be unable to return to this garden ever again. Please be mindful of that. Never? Not even once? Because we won't be able to use the cube's warp functionality anymore? Correct. Using it to warp is only possible when you are within a certain range of the garden. Go outside of that, and it is no longer possible. So before you depart, I would ask that you make absolutely sure you have everything you need and are ready for whatever you may find there. Good to know.
It wouldn't hurt to do some extra training then. I don't doubt we're all gonna have to play our part in things to come.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't mind getting in some exercise myself. Wouldn't want to wind up being the one to drag the group down.
This will be our last opportunity to open the doors scattered throughout the plains and take anything we find too.
It's probably best I step down as leader for the time being then. If you're just door hunting or trying to get some extra practice in, I'd only get in the way. If anyone else wants to learn how to use the cube or fill out my notebook, I'd be happy to teach you. Just let me know. Let's just be sure that when the time comes, we leave with no regrets. Right!
Chapter 8. The Future We Dream of. Form your party. Well, it doesn't matter too much who we bring with us first, but logically I think we'd be best served bringing the lowest level people, and strangely enough for how broken he is, Richard's the lowest level character I have. We can bring the dudes. This bottom row, they're all at 140. Whoops, there are other characters at 140 as well. But yes, this is the end of the game, so you got your big RPG moment of, if you step past this point, the game will... You won't, the point of no return. It's like every RPG does. But, oh, interesting. I never thought about this, but given the fact that, you can form whatever party you want. Ooh. You can form whatever party you want during this situation. It also means that, that who you choose to talk to people with could greatly change, the conversations. Possibly. Then again, maybe Falcom, tuned it down a little bit so that it wouldn't be a big deal. Like usually, obviously, it's Kevin going around and doing the talking to everyone. But perhaps it doesn't matter too much in this scenario. They counted their bases. But possibly not. It is Falcom, so... Alright, so let's just take an account of everyone who we've got. Let me check the tree. Excuse me, ladies. Buy ingredients. This thing never did get, like, ingredients that I didn't have before, right? Yeah, I've used some of these. But it never got monster bits, which is really disappointing. So, magical tree inside of Phantasma, not nearly as dependable as Orvid. Somehow Orvid is more dependable than this tree. Hey, new stuff on the bookshelf. This is the Liberl news from 2nd chapter. Whoa! You have done well to read all of my fragments of knowledge. In praise of your inquisitiveness, allow me to grant you my blessing. Hey, we got the Ismaelis whatever. I kind of accidentally skipped over it. So you don't actually have to read everything. You don't have to open them up. You just have to interact with the bookshelves. So, armor. There it is. Ismaelis Circlet. Various sets up prevents ailments except KO. A circlet of Ismaelis that grants heaven's protection. It's probably really strong, but I'll worry about that later. I do have some like final building to do, some final equipment to apply, because we got all those good accessories from the second playthrough that I haven't used yet, like the Blade Lord's emblem, the Divine Blade emblem as well. Let's see if we check this monument. Synthesized quartz. So did you... No, I think it stopped adding, like, quartz. No, I guess it did add some. Like, I don't think I had both water gem and sapphire gem before, but maybe I do now. But yeah, I could stand to make some new quartz. I have tons of Sepith. I've maxed out my first two, my earth and water Sepith. Alright, leave all that alone. What's up, Celeste? Okay, so this conversation might depend on who you have on your party. Incidentally, I have one piece of news I think you may be interested in hearing. The area Kevin and Ries fell into is not the only part of the 7th plane that exists. I have discovered another, much more vast area there. I have also reason to believe that it's filled to the brim with devils, as well as highly dangerous. Nonetheless, I have placed a monument down there to serve as an anchor should you wish to explore. You should be able to warp there using the cube. The Abyss is now accessible. It is now possible to warp to a new area on the 7th plane through the warp menu. This area contains countless powerful enemies, devils included, making it the perfect place to efficiently level your party members. It's a grinding location, and we are going to have to go to it. It is important. But I'll worry about that in a minute. Let's see. So, yeah. So this warp point to the Abyss, it does not take you to where we went as Kevin and Ries. There's something I want to test. I don't think I ever did this last time I played the game. But let's go back from where we came. Let's try to go back to Astor House. I'm not sure if it's physically possible. They might like bar you from re-entering it. Because I don't think you can get back into that little dungeon area that whoops, come on. That's right, because we don't have any evasion things on us. Fuck these enemies. Thankfully the series in the future employs the philosophy that enemies that you're way stronger than just leave you alone. Fucking bastards. Get off me, civic grimoires. I think we're going the wrong way anyway. Let's see. So yeah, you can't go back to the dungeon area we were at with Kevin and Ries. That's like a one-time deal. Maybe that also played into Xseed's decision not to put chest messages in there, because you technically can't get back to those chests. But apparently we can get back to Astor House, which is helpful because not all of my curiosities were satisfied. I don't think there's a reason to come back here. I don't think they put anything in here. But remember, we didn't actually get to poke around in here. We got thrown into a cutscene immediately upon entering. And apparently it's nothing. It's just this one room. You can't even interact with where the secret passage was. So there's no way to get back down into the primal ground. But hey, this was just a curiosity I had and I wanted to satiate it. I don't think they throw anything into any bits of Astor House. I don't know, maybe there's like there could be something like a unique cutscene if you bring Kevin and Ries back. Maybe they trigger something. Doubtful, but totally possible with Falcom. But good. Curiosity satiated. Alright, back to the Hermit's Garden. So there's Kevin. We can finally talk to Kevin without him being knocked out. Well, let's just make the rounds. And hopefully these conversations aren't too dependent on who you have with you. So check this out. Olivier's standing over here by himself. He's got a thought bubble. Cher's also over here with the thought bubble. Let's start by talking to Annalise, though. Yeah. I'm just getting warmed up. I can do better than this. Well, that's all she has to say. You practice, Annalise. You do it. I'm so proud of you. Alright, what is bothering these two? Heh, I wonder if that's really true. I suppose I should start getting ready soon, too. They won't be calling me the Silver Streak anymore if I start getting rusty now, will they? It's the same. But her thought bubble remains. Why does Ollie also have a thought bubble? Oh. And so the end is finally upon us. A part of me would rather remain here than return to the no-doubt mountains of work that eagerly await my return, however. Not to worry, Olivier. No part of you even has a choice in the matter. I'll drag you back to the real world by your ears if I must. How could you, dearest Mueller? Must you always be so cruel? Despite being dragged here against my will, I have to admit that part of me will be sad to say farewell to this world. Perhaps I should try to add Celeste to my list of conquests while I still have the chance. I'm sure Adius will forgive me. You son of a bitch. He's bluffing. Okay, first of all, she is not even corporeal, so I don't know how that would work. He's bluffing. He's bluffing big time. I love you, Ollie, but I know you. I know you very, very well, and I know that you're BSing. You're changing the subject. Because something's going on here. These two talk to each other, and that's why they're so close in proximity, but, lost in thought. I know it. Alright, let's talk to these people over here. That's a valid point. I don't think we can discount the possibility there may be foes inside the Arcel. After reaching there, Major Vander and I will assess the situation before the rest of us step inside. Once those checks are complete, we'll check the state of the main engines before attempting to activate the ship itself. As for the personnel on the bridge, Hi there! We're just about in a state where we can get to the Arcel moving once we're ready. But we aren't going to be able to resupply once we depart, as I'm sure you well know. Make sure you're well rested and ready before giving the word to leave. That's pretty much the same. No, this is different. There's no telling what we could encounter on our way to where the Lord of Phantasma awaits either, so be sure to rest while you can. We shouldn't face any major obstacles in getting the Arcel up and running. Still, we will be heading into a completely unfamiliar territory by journeying outside the plains. Anything could await us. Alright. I think they wrote some of this dialogue as though you were playing as Kevin with your party leader. Because it's like, why would these guys be in charge of some of that? But at the same time, they're still unique flags depending on who's on your party. Like bringing Mueller to talk to Olivier. You guys have stuck with me through all that's happened here. After finding out it was all my fault, you stuck by me and even agreed to keep helping. So I've got something I really want to say to you all. But it can wait until we all get the hell out of here. I'll keep it to myself until then. We've only got one chance to get out of here safely. We can't blow it. So let's make sure we've done everything we need to before taking off from here. As long as we're absolutely sure we've done all we can do, we'll be just fine. Alright, let's try the library. Oh, is that Gilbert? Yeah, it's Gilbert. No, he's not even, hurt, is he? Come on, get it together. If you're just gonna loaf around here, we're gonna leave you behind. Don't talk to me, please. I'm too tired to move another muscle. Just leave me alone. Did you not hear me? Don't talk to me. Are you making fun of me? You are, aren't you? You bet I am. Start getting ready to go, now. If you're just gonna loaf around here, we're gonna leave you behind. It's doing nothing. Good old Gilbert, the true hero of this story. He's been through even more than Kevin has. Alright, to the tree we go. So technically we have 18 people in the garden now, right? If you count Celeste and Gilbert. With your sail speed, I don't think it'll take long at all for us to break out of the plains. Mom was actually able to raise its top speed with a few improvements the other month too, so that'll be a huge help. Oh, I'd forgotten about her messing around with it before. I just remember being hit by a flying spanner when she was. Unique dialogue for having Agate. Oh dear, are you being naughty again, Ries? You're supposed to be getting ready, not stuffing yourself full of food when you think no one's looking. I'm doing no such thing. This is purely a taste testing exercise. The Lord of Phantasma keeps referring to us as pieces on a game board. And it's obvious enough that unless we all work together, there's no way we're getting out of here. Especially with how fixated she is on playing by the rules she's established. It's obvious enough that unless we all work together, there's no way we're getting out of here. That's probably one of the rules that governs the world itself. But at the same time, it feels like the Lord of Phantasma herself is defined by the rules of this world too. 5 years ago, Kevin and Rufina did all they could to help me and save me from danger. They might have regretted the outcome, but that doesn't change their intentions, or how important they both are to me. That's why we need to defeat the Lord of Phantasma, together. For Rufina, as well as anyone else. We need to defeat the Lord of Phantasma with our own hands. For Rufina, as well as anyone else. It's gonna be a long journey, right? So we'll probably get hungry on the way. And if we don't have any food with us, we're gonna be in big trouble. Celeste says she's not going to need any, so that leaves, like, what? Enough food for 16 people, I guess? Don't forget Gilbert. How about down here? Did we see anyone over here? I honestly already forgot. So let me check the list. We talked to Kevin, Ries, Cell Joshua, Ren, Tita, Chloe, Josette, Annalise, Shara. Okay, yeah, everyone but the 4 with us. So let's put the top 4 with us.
Let's go.
Some of these definitely would have been a bit different if my party was different. Like, I'm sure Kevin would have, like, made a joke at Ries's expense about her, like, stuffing her face. After we leave this garden, we'll never be able to return again. It's probably best to assume there won't be anywhere for us to buy new equipment either. So make sure you've got everything you think you'll need, okay? Huh? Why aren't you hanging out with Tita, Agate? The hell kind of question is that? I'm not her dad. Besides, she's with her friend right now. It's fine. Oh. What? You got a problem? She's not a kid anymore, so I'm sure she'll be fine without me. If she needs me, I'm always there. But I know she can otherwise handle herself. Oh my. What's with that starry-eyed look? I'm glad we had Estelle for this. It's only thanks to the power of this garden that we're able to buy new equipment and goods, or synthesize new quartz for our orbits. After we leave here, there's no guarantee we'll be able to do any of those things. Make sure you got everything you think you'll need before leaving, okay? Alright, so we're missing Richard, and who else did I have with me? Vander. Mueller Vander. Let's see. Alright, he goes here. Okay, so Kevin would have been in this, like, 4-way conversation. Got it. So the Lord of Phantasma is Ries Argent. Her negotiation and problem-solving abilities were highly regarded in life. But that probably just makes her all the more deadly as our foe. I don't think I can afford to rest on my laurels. I should do more training before we leave. Let me check over by Annalise. Maybe her and Richard train together. They are buddies now, right? Nope. Aw, man. Disappointment. I wonder where he goes. I didn't pass by him, did I? Oh, there's also like a little bit of testing I want to do. I want to see what happens if I put either one of Shara and Ollie on the party and go talk to them. Are they going to be awkward around each other? My suspicion is yes, but I don't know for certain. We'll see if my trail's instincts are on the money. Where are you? Come on, Alan. There he is. He's reading. What's over there? Isn't that Carnelia? This is Carnelia, right? Well, he could be reading something different. Well, in our headcanon, let's say he's reading Carnelia. Some here may believe being called to this world was a coincidence, but I don't feel my presence here is. No matter whose will it was that I was summoned to Phantasma, I've gained truly invaluable experiences here. Now all that remains is for me to make the best use of them I can in my life going forward. Still, this library truly is an astonishing thing. There's so much fascinating material here, I'm not sure where to start. I'll have to try and commit as much of it to memory as possible while I'm still here. That's some real dedication. So, I mean, I think this is much about the library itself that we're ever going to hear, ever. Which is a little disappointing, because during the course of the playthrough, I was like forming some strange theories about the library itself. Let me put Ollie on.
You're right, please.
So obviously everything in Phantasma is like a reflection of the real world. So, you know, like all these books that are down here, are they real? Who knows? But I kind of like to think that like the collection of books is obviously dependent like to some extent based on like what the people that have been drawn here know about like actual books. Like for one, obviously we get to reread everything we read first and second chapter. But I would go a step further and say that like maybe some of like Phantasma's like theming of using books, both in the library as well as like take for example the beastman that appeared over at like Layla's cell. I take some of that to be like also thanks to Kevin, since a lot of what happens in Phantasma is thanks to Kevin. Now, like this total theory just like not confirmed at all, but like consider I think like the second or third time we ever saw Kevin in second chapter, we ran into him in Minoria as Estelle, and he was reading The Dull Night for the Mercy Orphanage kids. So like my headcanon is that Kevin's really well read, that he has a lot of experience like reading stories like that for kids or on his own as a Dominion, etc. And maybe that plays into a role into like some of the books that get gathered here, the fact that like some of the enemies we encountered were like out of fairy tales and whatnot. That's just my headcanon though, it's not a definitive answer. Let's see. What's up, Shara? You know you left one of your cards on the table, right? Oh, I know. It's been a while since I've had such a good result, so I decided to leave it there in honor of the occasion. Well, what kind of occasion? If that's what you want to do, I see no reason to oppose it. A maiden need only to follow her heart. Unfortunately, you can't read the card. So, is my theory correct? Let's swap them.
Ready?
And see what happens when we go talk to Ollie. Then again, having Estelle might help. Estelle knows everyone really well. Oh. And so the end is finally upon us. Oh, this is the same conversation, right? I can smack you anytime, you know. If she bans you from the garden, you'll only have yourself to blame. You really are too fearless for your own good. Maybe she'll use her power to throw you outside the plains and let you fend for yourself. Okay, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't know. I mean, I know these characters pretty well. So I'll trust my instincts and say I think there's something more to it than what we're seeing. Right, let's put Richard here. Agate over here. Mueller. And Zen. Congratulations, guys. You're about to get really strong. Really, really strong. Big, powerful. Big strongs. I'm going to save here, just in case I want to back up this decision. Let's get that CP drink on. Tasty. So let's see. There is something we have not found, and that is the invitation to do the third challenge for Sundor 3? Yeah, Sundor 3. But it might be in the Abyss. It could very well be. Well, let's go to the Abyss. So you can bring whoever you want to this. You don't have to be bound by having Kevin as your party leader. That way you can grind with any 4 characters you want. And the background is not as smooth in the Abyss locations, the Gehenna locations, as I would want it to be. And no conversation at all. Just they dump you here, here's a way out, Can you use the cube? Yeah, you can. You can leave whenever you want. But here's the thing. Well, obviously you notice the fact that there's only one spot here, the Abyss, which means there are not additional monuments for you to find as you travel, which is a big deal because this place is enormous. It is so big, and it's a gauntlet. So let's fight this guy. I'm not sure how strong these enemies are. Maybe I'm overestimating them. But I know the first time I did this, I got crazy amounts of experience. But no, maybe if we go further down. So let's see. So what you're seeing right here is what you get. This same pattern. Let's cheese this out a little bit, and I'll do something that I haven't done in a long time. Oh, fucking A. Run. Let me put on just for this one screen. I'll go into Richard's Orbment. And we'll swap out Evade 4, that's easy to remember, with Cloak, just so enemies don't fucking notice me. So something I haven't done in a long time, which is abuse turbo mode to travel. So bear with me, I'm sure this looks like garbage on YouTube. You come down to Florida, it looks exactly the same. Abyss Area 1, still Abyss Area 1. So the Abyss looks like this identically every floor you go. It's the same layout, it's just a spiral down. And down, and down, and down, and it keeps going and going and going and going. And it's there for you to just fight enemies, but there is a bottom. But it takes a damn long time to get there. I'm not sure if the enemies get stronger. If they do, then maybe I'll stop to fight some of them. It might be worth, I don't know, gaining a level or two. I'm not entirely sure. But we'll just go down to the bottom, and there is something down there, obviously. If there's a bottom, that means there's a reason to get to the bottom. And you better believe there's something very worthwhile down there. So maybe when we pick up next time, I'll be at the bottom and ready for us to see what our quote-unquote reward is. That's a very generous term to call what's down there. See you guys in the next one.